Hi everyone. Right now we're going to look at solving two-step equations with variables on one side of the equation or an equal sign. And this lesson kind of mirrors what you were doing with the gizmos. So some people were having a little bit of trouble um, understanding why we're looking at visual representations. And visual representations just kind of solidify your understanding of a concept. So, why do we do the things we do? And it's a skill to be able to see math represented in multiple ways. So, today, what we're going to focus on here is basically what we were talking about earlier in the gizmo. So you have an equation here, 2x plus 2 equals 6. I represented it as a chart. This line going down the middle, it represents the equal sign. So when you were doing this, you were in the gizmo, your x's were represented by like these little petri dishes. Okay. Oops, something went wrong there. And we'll say that's an x. Good. Okay, they look ugly, but they'll do. All right, the next thing is what you had was two constants that were left over. So I'm going to put those constants, and they're going to be represented like so. They are represented, okay? Green is going to be +1, okay? And we'll get to the negatives in a second. And over here, you had 6 positive numbers or integers, and we're representing it in green. Okay. So the next thing that we need to remember here is when we're using our integer tiles is that a negative represents here, a negative dot represents -1. So like you were solving one-step equations, what they asked you to do was to drag over the manipulatives, the dots, and take things away or add. So the best way to represent it is with these dots. And in order to get rid of or cancel out the +2, we have to create a 0 pair. And in doing so, we have created 0. They don't exist anymore. But what I do on one side of the equation, I have to do on another. So in saying that, I have to subtract 2. And when I do that, I'm left with 0. Now hopefully that makes sense because you did that before. And I'm going to erase those so that they are not on our sheet anymore. We can go back. All right, I'll use another color. Now we are left with 2x equals 4. Okay? But that's not what I want. I want to know what one of these x's is. I want to know what it is. So what we can do is because there's 2x's, we are going to divide the rest of these in on the other side of the equation equally into both of these x's. So because there's 4, I know that these two, I could bring them over here. And that would tell me that there are 2 x's in one of those. And I'm going to take these, and I'm just going to represent it this way, like these little arrows. And there's going to be 2 in this petri dish as well. Because what I did here was that I divided them into 2 equal, I guess, containers. Okay, I divided them. And this is going to be very important because in the next video, I'm going to show you how to solve this algebraically and show this. When I show that, you will understand why we're dividing now this coefficient by 2. We're really dividing it by 2 because we have to make sure that what we have left over are equally distributed to the x's that are left over. So hopefully it'll become more clear as I do the next video.